Morning. Isn't it amazing how when it snows, it's always really quiet? It's like the snow suppresses sound. Of course, I'm an old jarhead and have tinnitus, so I love the quiet, but it's also when I hear the ringing in my ears. Too much live fire, folks. Back in the day when they didn't have those cool earplugs that they have today, a lot of us old vets have that problem. Ringing in the ears. There's Darcy's tree. It's her Christmas tree. I need to trim maybe the bottom row of branches off this year. Clean it up a little bit. It'll keep it healthy. Got some slash to burn still. And a whole lot of slabs to cut into firewood. And logs and. You know, I got to tell you, sometimes I come out here and I've got all kinds of plans. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. And folks, I've been coming out here for 15 years. 15 years ago, this was raw ground. I love the sound of that crunch in the snow. Fresh snow. Oh, and we need it too. I only got about, I don't know, half an inch or so. But it's still snowing. Maybe we'll get another half an inch before it's all said and done today. Oh, anyway, sometimes I come out and I got all these plans. All this stuff I want to do. I was going to do the installation of that console that I put in. I just have to run some wire underneath the cabin into the back room. But you know what? I was just kind of enjoying the weekend, folks. I wasn't enjoying the fact that I got to fix the sawmill. I'm actually kind of chuckling at the condition of that alternator belt because I pulled that alternator off back in, I'm going to say 2017. And I had it tested. And it was fine. I actually had a loose wire. And then, I don't know, probably around 2020 or so, I replaced the battery. 2019, 2020, somewhere around there, replaced the battery. I think I got a better quality battery. And that battery, it's held up good. And I've been saying I think I had a bad battery because of the age, right? Typically 3 to 5 years. You know, you get one lasting longer than that, you're golden. And this one is doing good. The alternator ain't. Although the belt ain't either, so we'll find out. I do think I need to cover that sawmill. Ah, folks, I love being out here at the cabin. I have to tell you, it's just one of those things. You see that backdrop of trees, and yes, I do need to thin them. That's important for forest fire protection. But I just love that. I love that backdrop. And it's so quiet and peaceful, folks. You know, if you don't get out in the woods, and I've said this countless times, maybe you can't. Maybe you live in a big city. Drop a comment down below. Let me know. You live in the woods, you live in a rural environment, you live out in the desert, you live in the city. Let me know. But I'll tell you, I've lived all over. I've been to 13 countries. Some of them, as an old jarhead, were not tours where I got to go visit a whole lot of stuff. Let's just put it that way. But been all over the world. Oh, I hear some wolves. No, I don't. That could be the neighbor's goat, and the neighbor's goat's a crazy, wacky goat, and it makes the craziest sounds. And I just heard what sounded like a little bit of a howl. But as I sat and listened for a bit, I actually think it might be their goat, probably inside the barn, so it's muffled. Didn't get any good game cam pics. The wild horses came through. That's it. Really kind of shocking, really. Sometimes I have so much activity here, it's amazing. But this winter, it has been very, very quiet. Other than early on when I had the cougar come through. And I've had a couple coyotes, but the last 2 or 3 times I tried to bring you guys some game cam pictures, wasn't anything on there. Could be time to move the game cameras. Oh gosh, it's so nice out here, folks. We're leaving today. Leaving is always bittersweet. I cannot tell you a time that we left here that I didn't want to stay. And I think part of that is because I always have plans, always have things that I'd like to get done, things I'd like to do. And, well, you don't always get them done. If you look at the back of the cabin here, clearly, I have some trim to finish, some batten boards. I just need to get out here pull the table saw out and start cranking them out. I actually thought maybe what I would do is make some at home and bring them out. I kind of did something silly when I did those. We're still at 50%. That's really good. A little over half an inch of snow. Whenever I walk around out here, I always keep my eyes open. You never know what might be trekking through the woods here, or sitting there watching you. Big city folks may not realize you could actually have a cougar sitting up in a tree somewhere just keeping an eye on you. This is really the area that I've got to work a lot on this year and trying to thin down. The first step is to remove all of the trees that are 7 inches in diameter or smaller. That's step number 1. Then you got to try to go in and remove trees so that you have at least a 15-foot separation between trees for forest fire protection and beetle protection. And some of these trees are leaning the wrong way, and they're going to be a challenge to drop them properly without crushing something. So probably block and tackle type situation where we'll have to hook up into a tree over there somewhere and run the rope up to the tree and use the tractor at 90-degree angle to pull it in that direction. Oh, guess what? I see a deer. 2, 3. Right up there, folks. You probably can't see him. I can try to zoom in. Give me a second here to zoom in. Okay, they're right there watching me. There's like 5 or 6 there. I'm going to let them walk behind some trees. Okay, there they are. They're behind the trees now. All right, folks. Well, I couldn't catch the deer. First of all, I didn't get him anyway, and I don't have a long-range camera. But the funny thing is after I switched over to the zoomed-in setting on my GoPro, it stopped recording. Good times. Sometimes you're trying so hard to catch something you don't notice that little red light's not blinking. Well, that happened here. I went ahead and turned the Jeep around so we could load the Jeep up and get out of here. And then, look what happened. It just started snowing harder, folks. So I need to put chains on. We got up here Friday just fine. But there was a couple spots that were a bit slippy. And one of the things I've learned is that, it gets cold overnight and then, boom, everything freezes solid up here. And as I was turning the Jeep around, I was surprised at just how slippy it was. And that's, still in 4 high from driving in. And clearly, I need to put the chains on before I head down the hill. So I'm going to have to sweep the Jeep off. But I think I'm going to have some breakfast and let this snow settle for a little bit. Because it's coming down hard now, folks. It's coming down real hard. Oh, I love being out here. And actually, I love being out here when it's snowing like this. But I'll be a snowman if I stay out here like this recording for you. So I'm going to go in and knock the snow off and have a little breakfast before getting packed up and rolling out of here. But well, here's an interesting thing for you folks. That light from Home and Lighting Company, and there's a link down below, and I've mentioned it before. I have an affiliate link, so yes, I get a couple bucks if you buy one of these. But I'll tell you something. I am super impressed. And right now it's covered in 1/2 inch of snow and it's actually charging up the batteries again. So, I mean, super awesome. One of the things I do intend to do is to flip that up the other way. I'm going to put it right out on the edge of the roof. Have that light go up this way and shed more light towards the woodshed. And I put it the way it is right now because I was worried about solar. You know, you need to get solar production. You got to charge that battery up. But what I've learned is that this is so well put together that it doesn't really need that much light to charge it up, and the battery lasts a really long time. So I'm really impressed. Speaking of being impressed, look at this snow, folks. I mean, we had a 1/2 inch, and I said maybe we'll get another 1/2 inch. This is insane. Well, I'm going to let it snow. I'm going to go in and have some breakfast. And folks, if you enjoy these videos, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button for me. I would love it if you did. Helps the channel out a lot, and I really appreciate it. So thank you very much for that. Now, I think I'll go ahead and drop a video right here for you guys to check out. Hope you enjoy it. Y'all have a great day. The old Jarhead out.